Welcome to TW Sports Talk, everybody. It's September 11th, so we remember those, we honor those who lost their lives in the tragedy of that day. Um, and we're coming off, one incredible week one, I think, of NFL football. A lot of good games. Um, and of course, being here in
A
Philadelphia,
few surprises.
yeah, few surprises, and definitely, one of them had to be the performance that the Eagles put up the other night
Yeah.
on Monday Night Football. I mean, let's just say that first of all, ESPN apparently they predicted there was going to be a 41-0 shutout by
Did
the
ESPN predict it as a
Redskins.
whole, or was it just one analyst that predicted it?
I
There's
I
a
don't know.
difference.
The point
There's a difference
is
between saying
the
the whole
the point
organization
yeah
did it and
the
one
point
guy
is
did
the
it.
point is somebody did it. That's
Okay.
to me.
It's an outrage.
Yeah,
Well, I think everybody on
it's
my
an
night, yeah, but I
outrage.
think everybody on my night countdown picked Redskins.
Right.
I think
Only Trent Dilfer picked the
because
Eagles.
apparently Trent
Which
different
is-
something that nobody else knows.
But yeah, and see that's the thing. There's a lot we haven't known coming into this Eagles season,
Yeah.
and they no. I mean, the first half was obviously incredible
That first drive
Um,
was amazing until the fumble.
yeah, and I mean that was some people that's a controversial call. Yeah, it's one of those things where you would to really be able to tell they would have had to have had a cameraman exactly where Vic threw the ball, in line with where he threw the ball from the sideline. It was just really hard to tell, whether they had enough evidence to overturn it. So, yeah, I mean, but the bottom line is then they went right down the next drive
Wide
and
open to Sean
right
Jackson. Yeah.
and scored
Who
a
now
touchdown
I am moving into a start. By the way, sorry
on
for
your
the loss.
on your
sorry,
fantasy.
sorry for your loss.
Right. For those who don't know, Wayne and I actually played fantasy football against each other, for week one.
And I kicked his ass.
And yeah, at the end,
it could have been by a lot more if it would have had Jackson instead of Ty Hilton,
Yeah.
who now I've made the switch now.
Right.
I'm hanging on to Brady though. I still have faith in Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, I think they play. So I forget.
They play Thursday. They play tomorrow against the Jets.
They play. Yeah. So
I'm still not gonna put Vic in front of Brady. To me, that still comes off as maybe suicidal, maybe a bit. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Brady had a bad game. Just that he didn't have like as many points as Breeze did.
And not even as much as your other starter, Michael Vick.
At the end of the day.
But yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, Vic only had like 40 though. I mean, it wasn't like it was that big of a difference though.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing was,
if he would have got like 50 like Breeze, that would have been said, oh, well, that's a big difference. It was only like 40, 41.
Yeah. Now the fascinating thing with Vic was, I mean, he had he had a good game. 15 for 25. He threw the ball only 25 times, and they ran like 77 plays on offense at the end of the game.
Yeah, they ran like
of
40,
course.
They ran like 40
in the first
they
half. They
rushed like 40 times.
Right, essentially. Well, yeah, they threw 25.
The complete opposite of the Andy Reid West Coast offense, pretty much.
And yeah, Shady McCoy at the end of the game, he had 31 carries.
There's a reason why I picked. I knew that. That's why I picked him as my number one fantasy pick, because I knew this new offense he'd be getting a lot more touches. Did I know he was going to have the game he had against Washington? No, I mean, but I figured he was going to get a lot more touches, therefore a lot more yards.
Right.
Than Andy Reid ever gave him.
31 touches was an example there. And he had over 6 yards per carry, which that says something. And he had more rushing yards than any running back this week, I believe. Only 100 yards this week here in week one, and
the guy's out till week 11.
Yeah. So
Varen, right? It's Varen from the Patriots who's the other guy. They got 100.
The two,
yeah.
Which doesn't make your guy Ridley so much happy, does it?
No, he didn't.
You should just put him McFadden.
Yeah,
he actually did. He actually had a lot more better stats.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and the thing, a lot of things early on in the drives, they went for a fourth down. Chip Kelly after a failed challenge, and there were a few like 3rd and 2s, and every time. They converted first down by running the ball.
Yeah.
Most teams, they would have, it's like a throwing situation for
Well,
most teams in the
we gotta keep in perspective here though. It was no huddle.
NFL.
Actually, I think in the first set they were averaging like 18 seconds per play. So
Right.
after the play, 18 seconds to line up for the next play. Doesn't give the defense all the time to substitute
Right.
people, Tyler. So when it's
Right.
3rd and 1, we got our big offensive linemen. They don't have their big defensive guys in there though for goal line
Right.
situations. So it should be an easy, hole each time.
Yeah.
And like you said, I was going to get gassed eventually too.
Yeah.
Obviously on both sides of the ball.
And this, yeah. And now the thing was with this game, with the offense getting gassed out, they were running again. They ran 53 plays in the first half,
which still isn't a record for NFL, which
Right.
surprises me though.
yeah.
In fact, the Eagles still did not have like the highest. The highest was still
Right.
the New England Patriots,
And they
which
said-
is great because that's
Yeah.
I think the offense was shooting more for is that the New England can, kind of hurry up and get to the line as
Yeah.
fast as possible.
And in the post game press conference, Chip Kelly said that they weren't even quite going full speed. He said that they actually could have ran that offense even a little faster, but but still,
Well, I think Vic said. I think Vic said they only use like 60% of the
yeah,
playbook.
Vic
right
said
now.
that too. Yeah,
So what's the other 40% then?
yeah, and
that's
that's the thing. There's
that
a lot of
avoid-
unknowns here.
Well, I already told you one before the show started. I said I think in theory, Jackson might get a handoff once. Like the wide receivers might start getting handoff, like they're running
Right.
backs. Because once again, that's what Chip Kelly did at Oregon. Now I think that's a bad idea because having Jackson, the little guy that he is, just
Yeah.
running forward his body's not built to be a running back.
Yeah,
And at this point, you're
he's
looking
a
at
small
it.
guy.
So's Michael Vick. So's LaShawn McCoy.
Jackson's much smaller. Yeah. Jackson's like 175 pounds, I think.
Well, that too. He's not. He doesn't even have any muscle
the
on
other
him, too.
guys are a little
But-
bigger.
But looking at it here, I think that you can easily say though that we cannot afford to have any key injuries this year.
Yeah. There's no fun
Yeah.
team.
I mean, then again, this is year one of the Chip Kelly era. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. That's right. 4th place. That's right. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet.
yeah,
I was
Some-
kind of in the first half.
some are.
I was actually thinking about tasting it a little bit. No, I think you would do anything because you went as far as
No,
playoff at one point, and I did too. But I really felt like you were starting to like drink the Kool-Aid maybe a bit.
I was just I just pointed out, that
That if they play like this year round, they could.
they can. That's the thing. If they play like that year round, and the thing is,
But I said I don't think they can. I don't
They
think
can-
you.
if
I
the
think what
defense,
Kelly's-
this is like if all of that, the
I think what Kelly
defense
needs to
collectively.
start learning here is that quality is things better than quantity.
Yeah,
I don't mind that we do these short spurts here, but also keep in mind that the Kelly needs to keep in mind is that you can't do this of every play or every snap. I'm fine with that. Maybe in the opening drive he wants to go quick because it obviously works against the defense.
Yeah.
They're off guard and we might get a point. But the next play, okay, maybe we actually line up. We huddle. We still go fast, but we
Yeah.
slow it down a bit. Because sometimes how fast you do it, you start timing your guys out then
Yeah.
eventually.
yeah. Well, and then again, the point I bring up is that there were quick turnovers that the Eagles defense managed to get, and they were good. A couple great interceptions. Kerry Williams showed up. It's
Well, that
one
see,
game,
that's the
but
one I'll give you there.
he's
but
been under a
I
microscope.
am not going to say though that it was a great interception the first time. That was clearly a bad pass by Rob Griffin III. Clearly
on Kerry Williams. It was a bad, but it was a great interception.
No, I'm
too
talking about
by
the one
Kerry
in triple coverage. Did Kerry Williams pick that one off too?
No, Kerry Williams picked off
The
one.
one
near
on the sideline.
Boykin
that-
picked off the other one.
Well,
Yeah,
that one was pretty much given the board.
that one.
was what,
Yeah,
I mean, let's be fair here
it was-
too.
yeah.
Robert Griffin III
Is Russ
was very rusty that first half.
Yeah,
Let's keep it in perspective,
Right.
Eagles fans.
obviously
That
the
was
second
not his
half,
best. Yeah, we got the real RG3. Look what
Yeah.
happened. They almost won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind,
More on that later.
I really think like Eagles just want to focus on the first half and ignore the whole second half pretty much of this game.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to admit that, oh, well, this offense looked great in the first half, but man, they looked tired, exhausted, and the defense was starting to maybe also get some sign of fatigue.
Yeah.
I mean,
And like I said, like we could say, that first half was brutal because the Eagles on offense were quickly getting the ball back, thanks to those turnovers. I mean,
And
the
also,
safety,
the safety
the
definitely.
safety was like on, in the first couple plays of the drive, the one fumble was in the first like the first play I think of that drive, and one of the interception. They weren't threatening in the red zone really when turnover these
So, and when you break it down, they ran 53 plays in that first half. That's a lot of plays for one half, and
Yeah.
all that congested into one. I could see, and with it being the first game, the first four quarters that the Eagles are playing
Well,
here,
that's the thing.
I could see that factoring in.
I'm hoping that Chip Kelly learns maybe. Okay.
to tone it down. Yeah,
Well, that's the thing too. I'm hoping that the now, because I really think that maybe this is more of a test of the offense.
yeah,
First of all, can it actually work? And it can. Then the next one should be, okay, how much, how long, and how
How do we
much, or
pace it?
what pace should we be
Yeah.
running this in then? Because
Yeah.
to me, they would go on Oregon speed, which is great. But maybe we should start going New England Patriots speed,
Yeah,
which is a little bit slower
Break it
than
out.
Oregon speed.
yeah,
I mean, but that's still, like I said, New England still with that speed can still usually leads in most offensive plays in a game usually
yeah,
in a year. I mean, listen, we were third, even though we technically went faster than they did for the entire
Yeah.
first half. But still, I mean, I'd be going more towards a New England kind of style, which, like I said, is pretty much the same thing there. It's a lot of emphasis on the run. You do have to throw it once in a while,
yeah,
and you use your tight ends, which I really think we stopped doing in the second half a lot. I think
I think they played it different. Yeah,
I really do like the fact that we did use Selleck and we did use Ertz, especially Selleck, because like I said, on my fantasy team.
he had a good touchdown.
But also second half, it feels like we stopped doing that. Like I said, you watch the first half and you kind of start going as far as, well, maybe we can make the playoffs. And once you get the second, it's like, oh, this is why we're gonna be in fourth place. Look at this here.
Yeah, well,
It's where the depth starts kicking in then, because you guys are tired and we don't have anybody to come in for to back up McCoy, because we saw when Bryce Brown got in, that offense died.
yeah. Well, you can keep in mind at that point the offensive line could have been, too. Bryce Brown, maybe he had been fresh, but everybody else was, they were probably pretty worn down from that,
Yeah, but
big
Tyler,
first
you
half.
still have to throw in the fact that when McCoy was in, it was 4 yards. He was moving forward.
Yeah,
There were times when Brown was going backwards.
yeah.
I mean, in fact, then we got to the point I just felt like, well, maybe we should throw Polk in there, because maybe he can do it better than Brown can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the line I'm saying was probably pretty worn out at that point, and they weren't creating the kind of the holes and that they were in the first half. And at times, of course, Shady had made some incredible plays.
Yeah.
In the open field too. So
I mean, like I said, and maybe this is something maybe Chip Kelly taking on. There were a lot of Michael James remarks being made. Now, obviously, I say if we need a running back that has that same attributes of Michael James, we get Michael James in the next trip. Because really, pretty much his offense, he went to
Yeah.
Oregon still. And I would do that. Him and that Michael James and McCoy, they kind of are similar in that the way they run the ball. So
Yeah.
why not have two LaShawn McCoys or two Michael James? I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Just maybe a little foreshadowing maybe for the Eagles draft. If when I think about drafting, I mean, I know obviously people say Victor's bad, go quarterback. If which I automatically say Johnny Manziel, because if it's gonna be still an up-tempo offense, then obviously Johnny Manziel for Texas A&M matches that description
Yeah.
perfectly. Andy Murray pretty much runs like a very and Georgia, I feel almost like a more of a, I don't want to say West Coast, but it's pretty much what Andy Reid would want to do, more pocket passer.
Yeah.
Just Teddy Bridgewater is kind of the same guy. To me, Johnny Manziel is the guy that can actually, if he needs to scramble, he'll scramble. And if he needs to get out of the pocket, he get out of the pocket. And he likes going up tempo.
Yeah.
Just like I said, just throwing some advices to Chip Kelly maybe,
yeah,
if he happens to be listening, which I doubt he will. But
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
So I mean, yeah, the bottom line is, I mean, the first half, resulted in 26 points. It could have, that first drive with the turnover, who knows, it could have been more.
Could have been 33.
So yeah, but the second half again, yeah, they were tired, obviously, the offense and that brutal first half, and the defense, and Chip Kelly in the post game press conference, he kind of admitted that maybe we went into prevent mode a little too early
Yeah.
on defense, and they weren't as as
Sometimes
aggressive
when,
as they were.
Sometimes when you're a rookie coach, you start to
Yeah,
finally
and
get
that's-
that transition of,
That's the thing.
oh, wait, this isn't college,
Yeah.
this is the NFL. And some things he used to be able to do in college, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, go in prevent mode in the third quarter because Oregon had 50-something points at that
Yeah.
stage in the game.
And that's an adjustment that
Yeah.
he
And like I
in the
said-
future can be made. He'll be able to gauge that a little
Like
better
I said, if
now.
he's smart, and by all definition, Chip Kelly is a smart coach,
Yeah.
should be able to make. But I think it's important for us to be realistic still.
Yeah.
I know I said possible, and the keyword, I said possible playoff team. Notice I did not say in my Facebook post division team, division champions, because I still think Washington, despite this loss, is still going to win the division probably.
It'll be interesting to see what
And well, to me, Washington can't even be disappointed by his loss. Kind of
No.
they can, but once you saw RG3 in the second half, anybody I guess had the same amount to stay in the second half in Washington. You should be calmed down now. It's like, oh well, he's fine. He just had a little rust.
There's a
in it.
question. There's a question though whether he can stay healthy too. And I mean, all these mobile quarterbacks
Yes, I know. Seattle.
That's
You got
a
Seattle West
question.
Wilson. That's read option. Colin Kaepernick, although he's
and people with Michael Vick, all these quarterbacks,
read option.
It's
an option too. Yeah. Come on. When I saw Vic holding his groin area and limping a little bit, I was starting to get worried. So I'm like, okay, well maybe this is time for
him, because as much as, especially that touchdown, because definitely he faked out the defense, because once again, I think the defense, when you start rushing the ball a lot, you kind of follow the whole fact that, oh wait, Vic can throw it. He has
Yeah.
Jackson and Avant and Cooper and Selleck, and he can also run the ball too.
right?
But I don't want to see Vic run the ball that much.
Too much, right?
Because,
It'll be more.
like I
at
said,
risk.
he's out. I doubt Nick
It's-
Foles can keep the
yeah.
same pace as Michael Vick can.
Right, and he
And even
doesn't
if
have
he
the
can-
threat to run either.
Well, yeah, exactly. So once again, probably can still hand off to McCoy. Probably could still throw some decent passes there, but the defense I feel is more confused when Vic's in there because
Yeah,
he might actually snap the ball off. But
yeah. I mean,
there were a few. Well, most of the time he was smart to at least go down when the defender's coming by.
Yeah.
It was that one time he got pushed out when he got shoved out on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Because first of all he wasn't running towards the sidelines. Because if he was, they wouldn't do that. Because
Right.
if it would, it would be a,
flag.
which kind of Tampa Buccaneers didn't know about.
Yeah,
I kind of laughed at that game because it was the most ridiculous finish I ever saw to a football game. But yeah, no. So I mean, Vic, to me, it's like I said, it's three guys. It's Vic, McCoy, Jackson. All three guys got to stay healthy for us to even have a shot at still competing
Yeah.
at the end of the year. There can't be one injury bug.
yeah. And I mean, and then again, I mean, one guy, Vic. Say Vic goes down. I mean, it could be like 2010. Maybe he's back in a few weeks. It depends on the injury. Depends on the timing. Depends who they're playing. That it's multiple factors.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, again, with the way this division could be, I mean, Cowboys and Giants, they look pretty mediocre against each other. I was a little underwhelmed with how much they turned the ball over. and
Yeah, I mean
that was a sloppy game. I mean,
that was a sloppy game. Well, to be fair, a lot of Week 1 games are sloppy. I mean,
right.
Seattle, Carolina was a sloppy game. I think that
But,
the
then
way
you-
New England faced
then
Buffalo
you-
was sloppy.
Then you look at Green Bay and San Francisco. They look like playoff teams. They look,
Do you know what does?
Atlanta-
you know who does too? You know who
Atlanta and Saints. They look like playoff teams.
do you know
playing
who also
against each
does?
other.
The Chicago Bears, a team that
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they beat the Bengals, who once again a playoff. In fact, at this point, I'm just going to go and say they're probably going to win. I already said they're going to win the North. At this point, I'm very confident. The Ravens defense pretty much died against
everyone
Denver.
everyone in that
Pittsburgh-
division lost this week.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, but who looked better though? Cincinnati,
Right.
because they actually had a chance at
Yeah.
winning the game.
Yeah, they did.
Pittsburgh, I don't even know what the hell happened to Pittsburgh, really. I feel bad. It's kind of great that the Pirates doing well this
Another
year
team,
because this point the Steelers are going to
that was my prediction. The only point
They're getting old. That's
That's the thing. I like that. They're getting old.
they're not getting any younger.
They're old, and yeah,
It
mean-
might be time for an overhaul in Pittsburgh.
maybe.
but that's
you got
that's
Red-
not our concern.
But yeah, no. I mean, hell, like I said, even Cleveland looked good, and Brandon Wheeler threw 4 picks in his game against the Dolphins.
Yeah,
So I mean,
First I left at the whole fourth place finish for the Steelers, but even I think I even said they're probably gonna finish fourth. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. I think. Like I said, I think it's wide open. I think forget wide open. I think the Bengals should easily win this division.
Yeah.
If they don't, it's going to be considered a disappointment. Like the Houston Texans are probably going to be this year.
Yeah.
And I think that Monday Night game confirms that because they
Right.
barely beat San Diego of all
Yeah.
teams.
Well, again, I mean, it was week 1, but I mean, at the end they made a comeback, and of course, San Diego is the Eagles' next opponent. Sunday, 1 o'clock.
We're gonna preview that game next.
Well, I guess now as we transition here, I mean, closing thoughts on this week 1 Eagles game. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of question marks. I mean, we don't, I mean, who knows what kind? I mean, Chip Kelly, it depends on the adjustments he makes. I wouldn't, obviously, the San Diego game, I wouldn't expect that, the turnovers are going to come easily like they did for this Redskins game. I would expect the first half to be, at least a little more, even. Not so
Well, yeah, 'cause-
one-sided like that was.
But
And we saw the
Yeah.
Chargers have a strong start to that game too. I mean, they were up, what, 21-7, I think, at the end of the half.
I think it
or-
was 28-7 in this third quarter though. But
Yeah, in the third quarter. Yeah, so
well, Phil Rivers, keep in mind they still have Phil Rivers because apparently a lot of people say, well, they don't have North Turner. Okay, fine, they don't have North Turner, but they still have Phil Rivers.
yeah,
And they got Ryan Matthews, who's I think a very underrated wide receiver. He does have his moments, and he definitely had a few
Yeah.
moments against Houston. I don't know what happened to the Houston defense. It's supposed to be unstoppable.
in the beginning
looked-
they looked lost.
They looked
yeah.
very, very easy to. I mean,
Yeah.
if
I mean, they obviously got talent, but sometimes schemes and
the offense was
The
clicking,
scheme-
which is why I think that at the end of the day, that's what's going to kill Houston is Matt Schaub at quarterback.
yeah,
He wasn't delivering it, and even when they made a comeback, he wasn't the reason why they were making a comeback.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, some teams, they may not be running on all cylinders yet. And, I mean, look at the Patriots. I mean, Tom Brady. I mean,
Yeah, but-
he didn't have a wowing performance.
But at the same
I mean,
time,
they
they're-
almost blew it.
They might have just beaten the team that might be their closest challenge this year.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
they probably will. But I mean,
Because Miami technically only beat Cleveland because they said Brennan Weeding couldn't stop throwing
Yeah.
interceptions in the game. And really, why the Jets won against.
Once
That
the
was-
quarterback is out, is
Yeah.
out of bounds, you don't tackle him
Yeah,
or push him.
Yeah, that was, and then Clay Matthews, of course, going and that.
Oh yeah. Con,
had
what-
that. I mean, I
Here's
give him
even-
credit.
here's-
That was a wicked dive for Colin Kaepernick. But you can't. Obviously, you're gonna get flagged for that.
Yeah, but-
there was controversy to that whole thing, though.
Well, the thing of Matthews. Well, the thing about Matthews is that Kaepernick was way out of bounds.
yeah,
And he didn't push him like
He
the Bucks
leapt,
guy did.
yeah.
He actually grabbed it and
he
threw him down on the ground.
Yeah, and completed. Yeah, an all-out tackle.
And then he gets in Kaepernick's face about it. So for him, it was almost like, yeah, I did it, and I was
Yeah.
fine doing it, which is why be careful, Clay. You could get thrown out, and I see the Packers
Yeah.
defense. They can't afford to lose you for a few
Yeah.
games through a suspension.
Yeah, and there was a retaliation there.
Yeah.
Which apparently the refs made a mistake, and there was supposed to be a offsetting penalty there.
Yeah, but
And I was listening to Mike and Mike in the morning the other day, and I actually I disagree with Golick saying oh he can stick up for his teammate and stuff like that. It's like well I mean if you're gonna get if it's a penalty though to
Golick should say it because that's what Golick used to do back in the day.
I mean I call him out on that. I mean that's what you're supposed to do. He wasn't doing anything. But there's penalties in the
but
game. You gotta
Tommy,
know.
here's all the time
you gotta
there
know what to
is
do.
that when you have a defensive guy.
Yeah.
There's a defense controversy. They always have the defensive player. Why? Because that's what we used to do back in the day.
Yeah. But I mean, this is in the '90s now. I mean,
Well, yeah,
the rules are
the rules have definitely changed.
The point is,
There's
you
no
know
more-
the rules.
You can't bend your helmet
Yeah.
anymore and smack a guy in their crown anymore.
Yeah.
Because they don't want concussions
But, yeah,
anymore. And you don't want to paralyze a guy.
yeah. Guys,
So-
some guys get too excited, and that's the thing. I mean, they got to
Well,
know
I
how
would
to
say-
control things.
I wouldn't say too excited. In
sometimes.
Gold's case, I think this is still a sign of, I wish this was the good old days.
Yeah,
Back in the day where we barely had a paycheck. And
Yeah.
we actually hated our teams. There was no hugging, congratulating, and
Yeah.
hey, how's the family? How's life with kids? It was, fuck you.
yeah. And you look at, look at Deshaun Jackson,
Yeah.
getting into it a little bit with D'Angelo Jones.
Well, that was
It's one of
stupid on
the
his
things
part.
you got to watch. Yeah, just
And at
watch.
the same time, those two guys lucky they get tossed because those guys
Right.
still talking smack.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. It's okay to be emotional, but you got to know how to do it along the rules and not, that's all I'm saying here with this,
But yeah,
with this 49ers and Packers game. I mean, Packers played them pretty well. I mean,
I still think the Bears are
again,
going to beat them. I still think Green Bay's
it'll
not-
be interesting. It'll be interesting. I mean, there's still this is week 1. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of question marks, with a lot of teams. I mean, the 49ers
Anyways,
know they are, and
My Super prediction of Denver's looking pretty good right now.
yeah. But I mean, the clear majority of teams, there's still a lot of question marks going around, like
Well-
with the Eagles and with this this next game with at home with the Chargers.
Well, hell, the Saints beat the Falcons. Now a lot of people are saying, are they going to actually get ahead of
A
Atlanta
lot
and
of
win the
people,
division
a
this
lot
year?
of people seem to pick the Saints, and I could see
I'm
why.
still going with the Falcons.
I mean,
'cause I
in that
still-
game, I'm
Yeah.
saying because it was
Because
Saints at home.
let's face it, the Falcons could win.
It was a
Falcons
good
could
game.
win in the Georgia
were-
Dome, and next thing it
yeah.
doesn't even matter that first game.
They were right. I mean, they were right there with them. They were ahead.
Like I
There
said,
were a
the
few
Saints are
lead
going to make the
changes.
playoff. I think both of them are going to make the playoffs.
Right.
I just think the Falcons are going to get ahead of them.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the Falcons almost won that game.
I mean they're pretty
If
low.
my Steven Jackson would hung onto that damn football in the end zone, they would have
Yeah.
been Falcons 24, Saints 23.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not everything happened.
I was
your way.
I was pulling for the Falcons to win that game, but yeah, it was
You
one
went,
of
you
those,
went Matt Bryant to come in here.
it was one of those games that could have gone either way. Like many games this week did.
Yeah.
So
Lions actually look pretty impressive. Gets I mean, so did AP too. I mean, that first run was pretty good, and then
yeah, but then after that,
it kind of slowed
you
down
know,
a bit.
yeah, it was.
I
yeah,
think the Lions defense woke up and said, "We're not letting this shit happen again."
yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, I think the Lions got talent. The always problem has always been that the Lions, and they
Yeah.
usually never live up to that hype.
Yeah.
There's that one time they actually lived to the hype. They actually made the playoffs.
It's not,
But,
yeah. And I mean, it's not saying much, but Andy
Yeah.
Reid's Chiefs, they spanked the Jaguars.
It was like sweet sour pork, right?
20
to
28 to 2.
The
A
Jaguars.
lot of safeties.
Yeah, I think it was a record. 4 safeties this week. That was, and of
There
course,
actually was almost 2 in the
In one.
in the Steelers Titans game.
Yeah.
But one actually wasn't a safety.
yeah,
There was almost 2 called there, which
Yeah.
I think 2 safeties in the same game is pretty unheard of.
yeah.
But the Chiefs were pretty. It was against Jacksonville. And I think
Right.
This point, since Jacksonville
Yeah.
is easily
But-
might get them one pick next year.
yeah.
which-
But I mean, obviously,
and I will be really curious who their first pick's going to be because really there's a whole lot of options. You can go Javon Clowney because
Yeah.
you need a defense. You can go any quarterback really. I mean I really don't know who the top QB is going to be. I know for a while it seems it's going to be Johnny Manziel,
Right.
but now the off-field issues might back him up a few pegs. And obviously the running back position. I mean I think Michael James is an easy back to go for.
yeah,
But really Jacksonville, it's take your pick. I mean, obviously they really wish they had Tim Tebow apparently
Yeah.
down there. Not that I think he contributed any wins to your organization,
Yeah.
but he's Tim Tebow. He's not playing Gabbard.
yeah.
Do you hear about the story of Tim Tebow? Did he win a football league?
I mean, he doesn't,
Gene
he doesn't have
Simmons
a
and the
job
LA
in the
Kiss.
NFL.
Yep, Gene Simmons and the LA Kiss. That's right. Gene Simmons, the lead performer of Kiss, owns an
Yeah.
arena football team called the LA Kiss, and supposedly he wants to offer a contract to Tim Tebow.
That's the LA Kiss.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Jason says he thinks it would be great for his organization to see fans wearing LA Kiss Tebow jerseys. Yeah, great for you, Gene. I don't know if Tim Tebow feels the same way.
Yeah. To me, one of the musical setbacks of the 70s, if you ask me.
I agree.
So,
But
but yeah,
actually, did you hear the news about that? Supposedly he actually did offer supposedly a deal from a team, but they wanted him to change the position, and Tim
yeah.
Tebow turned it down.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, let's get something straight here. The idea of Tim changing a position so soon and so easily is laughable. First of all, you are insulting a running back and a tight end by making those
Yeah.
comments.
that are in
You're
the
almost
team.
like saying anybody can be a running back or a tight end. No.
Yeah.
Because a tight end got to catch it, and I mean, yeah, Tim can probably catch a ball, but can he do it in stride? Can he do it when a
Yeah.
linebacker's coming down on him?
Right.
I mean, does he really have that kind of hands?
Yeah.
Running back. Last time I checked, he runs a pretty slow 40. I mean, I think Michael Vick can run a faster 40 than than Tim Tebow can.
Yeah, apparently Vic ran a faster 40 than
Than McCoy.
Than McCoy. Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah.
yeah. But then again, the thing with McCoy is his strength lies in elusiveness and
Like I said,
just
a lot of Michael
sheer
James.
dodging
lot of
people.
those like cutbacks and some
Right.
that Michael James does, and he just like accelerates in that.
yeah.
So I mean,
So yeah, as we head into this next game, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how week 2 with Chip Kelly goes here.
I think I already said on Facebook. I think we can win not only against the Chargers, but against the Chiefs probably too. Even if the
Chiefs, I think, are going to be a little tougher than the Chargers.
Well, like I said, they're my
right.
sixth seed
Yeah.
this year. I think
that game is
they
going to
can
be
shock some
that
people.
game could be a good game. I mean,
Well,
I'm not making a pick on that third game yet.
who do they face?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs face the Redskins. Interesting.
No, wait, no, it's not the Redskins because I think the Redskins face the Packers.
Oh, that's right. No, the Chiefs face the
the
Chiefs
hell?
face the Cowboys. Is it?
Yeah, it's the Cowboys.
I feel like that. Yeah, they face. I remember
yeah, it's Dallas.
they
yeah,
face
no,
an
right, yeah.
NFC East team. I just remembered that.
And it's
yeah.
the Dallas Cowboys. So, guess we get to see how good the Cowboys are against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I think Washington could beat Green Bay.
They could.
I think Argentina's gonna wake up and just smoke
That's-
that Syracuse for a
but
defense.
I mean Green Bay just played a good game too against the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, but it's Aaron Rodgers.
and they have an extra day, and it's
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
like I said, Aaron Rodgers. The Packers don't make the playoffs. It's not because Aaron Rodgers had a bad
Right.
season. It's because of a lot of things, like the Bears have a
Yeah.
defense and
but I mean,
and a better running game. Matt Forte's a way better running back than Eddie Lacy at this moment.
yeah.
Not that Lacy can't
Lacey,
be.
well, for a rookie, Lacey's not.
Well,
Too
that's the thing
bad,
too.
I
But at the
think.
same time, if Lacy's out, they don't have
Yeah.
a running game. That's always been a problem with Green Bay is, and also they're taking a lot of they have a lot of offensive linemen missing. Like I think they lost 2 starters over the offseason. I feel like right now the Bears are more healthier and they got more
Yeah.
depth on both sides
But I
of the
mean,
ball. And those
yeah,
factors come down key.
yeah.
The only X factor for the Bears is can Jake Cutler play consistent and.
That's the thing.
He looked pretty good last week
Rodgers,
against
yeah.
Cincinnati. and
But
This
can
Bengals
can
defense isn't that
he
bad.
keep it going? I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. Rodgers, I mean, he's like an automatic,
Yeah.
consistent throughout the year. He, that one interception he had. I mean, that wasn't that was.
I
the
tell you what, though,
receiver's fault.
I really think the Niners like really moved ahead of the Seahawks, though. A lot of
Yeah,
people, Seattle really. I don't know what happened against Carolina. I don't know if that the Panthers have a good defense here, but their offense
I don't
got shut down
yeah.
a lot for Seattle.
I mean, obviously Seattle has one of the best defenses in the league, as the 49ers do, but yeah, and those two teams play each other this weekend too. So that's Sunday night.
That's a big key game right
So
there.
yeah, that'll
That's gonna be a key game, right?
be interesting.
But yeah, no, I think we should beat the Chargers though. After watching them almost beat the Texans, like as Tyler said, a 2 seed this year.
Yeah, I mean the thing is,
I'm going no playoffs because I think even though the Colts looked kind of sad against the Raiders, and they still won the game.
yeah,
I still think the Colts can beat the Texans twice this year, and I don't know. I think much like it's Chargers, I think Texans are going to lose a lot of games this year that a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
experts
we'll
thought they probably should have won.
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, a lot of
How Tennessee looks better this year, but I mean, I didn't realize how much they spent on the free agent market this year.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't look. I mean, particularly great against us. I mean, they should.
Their
They
defense is pretty amazing.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it's Greg Williams.
But to me, that's not. I mean, the Steelers' offense. I don't think they have too much.
No,
really. I mean,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll
But-
see.
But yeah, I mean,
I think by week 8 we started getting a little bit of sign of
Yeah.
who's a playoff
or
team
even
and
a
who's
few
not.
weeks from now, the teams that are like 5-0 a few weeks from now, that they should be playoff teams.
To me, the real game's going to be against Denver. That for us, that's going
Yeah,
to be
that's
that's going to be the eye opener of
yeah.
okay, how good are we really this year? Now,
Yeah.
granted, we can
If they're 3-0,
well, that's what I'm
especially.
saying. If we're 3-0, then
yeah.
this is really going to be a wake up call for Denver. Then.
Yeah, which even I'm not totally sure yet if they will be. I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be mildly surprised if the Chargers beat the Eagles this week. But yeah, I mean, I want to see how they play.
I would be more surprised if they didn't play close to Houston. Now, granted,
Yeah,
I'm also going to bet that Houston just isn't that good of a team this year.
yeah.
That maybe they're getting overhyped like the Detroit Lions tend to
Yeah.
get sometimes. But no, I mean, I don't know. I think we should be 3-0 hanging in Denver, but at the same
Yeah.
time there.
I mean, one
Kansas
week
City,
at a time.
Kansas City could be also
Yeah,
3-0
I'm not gonna
after
write
beating
them.
us too.
Yeah,
I mean, which
I'm
I
not
said,
gonna.
good news
Which
for
is
me
why I'm
because they're a playoff team.
yeah.
Because they would have to beat a team like Dallas and Philadelphia to start adding up those playoff wins.
Yeah.
Because if they can beat San Diego and they can beat Oakland, and maybe they might compete a close game against Denver one time. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I
We'll
mean,
see.
the division too is competitive, but yeah, I mean, obviously a great win. The other night, it felt I haven't felt that excited about an Eagles game, and probably since the 2010
Do you think
season.
though that some of the comments the players made was a shot at Andy Reid?
I mean, Michael Vick said that was the most fun he had playing on the football
McCoy
on a
said
football
it,
field.
and I can understand McCoy, the reason. I don't think any of these guys hate Andy Reid because Andy Reid has always been
No,
documented as
yeah.
being a player coach.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
And so is Chip Kelly too, pretty
Right.
much. He's been documented as being kind of a player coach. But no. I mean, it's cool. It was clearly an underhand slap
yeah.
at Andy Reid and his West Coast offense.
yeah. I mean,
McCoy,
to be
I
brutally honest,
McCoy, I get because really
he got
never
31 carries.
He never really got
he had
used
more
in Andy Reid's offense.
Yeah, he had more carries. Yeah, he was getting used on third and fourth down and 2 and stuff like
And when
that.
we could use it would be more like a screen pass from
Yeah.
Vic. It wasn't like it would be a direct handoff or anything.
He had like one of the best games of his career.
I mean, and Vic,
So,
Vic kind
yeah.
of, let's face it, Vic's not a pocket passer, and
Yeah.
Chip Kelly realizes that, and Andy Reid never really fully admitted that. He always would say, "No, I can
Yeah.
teach him,"
Yeah,
and he had a great first year, and then all of a sudden he started,
in 2010, yeah,
it's just certain players are only good for certain offenses.
yeah,
That's how
So-
it works.
yeah. So I mean, with all we talked about with the Eagles, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say as I'm drinking the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid,
No,
at least it is, but after
there
the
are
first-
some who are, and they should stop now.
after I'll take a little sip of it maybe, because I mean
I
they
will-
exceeded
I
expectations.
will at least look
winning
at.
that-
I at least look at the Kool-Aid.
Look at the
I can at least look at it. First, I wouldn't even look at it. Now I can at least look at it,
yeah,
but I won't even touch it yet until
yeah.
I don't know, we're
Right.
6-0 maybe in a year. Then maybe I'll actually
Well, they're
look
6
at
and
it.
0. I mean, if they go if they're 6-0 after playing Denver, everyone's gonna be saying, "Oh, Super Bowl!" If they beat Denver,
Well,
I bet people are gonna really. come out
they
and-
could be 16-0, Tyler. It doesn't matter. The playoffs, it doesn't really matter if you're undefeated
Right.
or not. There's no series in NFL football. It's
Right.
one and done.
Yeah,
And that's the problem sometimes with Philadelphia is that they can have that one bad game all year could be the NFC Championship game. Kind of the worst time to have your worst game of the season,
yeah,
which kind of,
yeah.
haunts a lot of Philadelphia fans with the whole McNabb era
Yeah.
thing. I really hope the guys get booed. He deserves a standing ovation. He contributed to this franchise more than any other QB did in the history of the
Yeah.
franchise. I know that's not saying much because he didn't give us that ring, but
Right.
he deserves a standing ovation, people. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
Now,
a
does he deserve
while
to be in the
ago-
Hall of Fame? No, I don't, because Skip
Borderline.
Bayless. Well, as
Yeah.
Skip Bayless said if his rule of the Hall of Fame, he has to think about it. Just think about it. It's not
Right.
Hall of Fame.
Right.
Brett
Yeah.
Favre, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Just say it and he's Hall of Fame. You don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb, he did this. Once you start thinking about
Only yeah.
he's not Hall
And
of Famer.
only a handful of guys go in each year too. That's the thing.
Well,
you
yeah.
know. So
Or
obviously
Major
it's guys
League-
that would come to
or
mind
if
right
you're Major League
away.
Baseball, it might be a year where nobody goes in.
Yeah.
Nobody gets the plurality of votes.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, like we said, I'm not. It's too early to really start chugging the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid. And speaking of Kool-Aid, some people are joking that Andy Reid kind of looked in the red Kansas City outfit and everything. It was looking like
I know where you're going with this.
some people are not the but or some people are calling him Big Red. And,
That was oh yeah. Speaking of fat people, I actually watched the Fox pregame before I went back to the Sunday night pregame. Usually Sunday night pregame they go Super Bowl predictions and. By the way, Ray
Yeah.
Lewis is. How do you think Ray Lewis being an ESPN analyst for his first few days on the
Ray
job?
Lewis.
Yeah.
I think he did a decent job. They had him in the one on the field segment. I think for one of the games.
Sunday night he was in the
his-
studio. With everybody else
yeah.
pretty much. He has Baltimore, Seattle, and has Baltimore winning it. And then Chris Berman went as far as they could say 49ers and Ravens again.
That's
the
like
Ravens
with Joe
winning it.
Theismann oftenly, being, really favorable towards the Redskins.
And then I'm telling you who can't, because the big segment is "Come On, Man," and then what it goes is, "Kidding me? This is the first Come On, Man all year."
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I thought Ray Lewis did pretty good in that. But no, on
on
Fox with Terry Bradshaw, another personal group I like to watch too, Michael Strahan and all that. They had Rob Riggle do like a musical number because the Super Bowl was the show was in Times Square, the pregame show. So obviously New York, MetLife Stadium, and that. Although, and even though I forgot about this too, good old Chris Christie came up to him and said, "Hey, genius, the Super Bowl was in New Jersey this year." And he's right. It's East Rutherford, New Jersey, even though it's the home of the New York Giants. I always make fun of some New York fans. Like, is this really your teams? Because they're not in your state.
Right.
They're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Even though they kind of do say, like, and I think even this WrestleMania was, it's at MetLife Stadium. It's New York / New Jersey.
Huh.
I mean, okay, but who was the governor that showed up for the event? The governor of New Jersey. So.
Right.
Obviously, it's located near a New York market, which obviously, the massive media market that's located there. But no, I just thought it was kind of funny that they actually acknowledged that. But I think it'd be very exciting. I think even Chris Berman brought this up when he made his what's it, Swami picks, or what the hell is it called? The Swami picks?
Well, I don't know what he.
Oh my god, I forgot it. It's called the 2-minute drill he does in sports like that. And when he was making his predictions for the Super Bowl, which was, like I said, Ravens 49ers, he had some snow in the background coming down. So clearly he's predicting what a lot of people are wishing won't happen. A massive blizzard hits the Super Bowl that week, and traffic is halted everywhere.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see like a light, some kind of snow. That's something you don't see in the Super Bowl.
Well, you don't. But if it's a blizzard,
if it's I'm not encouraging a blizzard.
No, but
like
it could happen. No, it's that time of year though, Tyler.
Yeah, there's been some people looking at their almanacs.
Would they actually? I can ask you a question. Would they actually cancel the Super Bowl? If nobody could show up because flights are canceled, because the roads are a mess. Would you actually play it in an empty stadium pretty much?
I mean...
Would you actually give that many refunds away?
They'd probably have to reschedule it in that
case.
Okay,
but the next question.
Because you gotta have the
commercials, which are purchased a week way ahead for that day. Yeah. Can you actually push those commercials back to a week later?
Yeah, I mean...
Or is it once they're in that time slot, you got to pay to get in another time slot?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will make a lot of advertisers pissed off, because that means they have to pay double for the advertising, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's the thing.
That's why a lot of people were criticizing them for this location, Tyler, at this time of year, because they said, it's awesome, but what happens if this happens? What's going to happen here? And Roger Goodell hasn't made any announcements about what would happen if this happened. Right. He doesn't want to talk about it. Why? Because he's wishing like everybody else does. This does not happen. But let's face it, it's February. It's New York, New Jersey.
Happen. Yeah.
It happens usually more than it doesn't.
Yeah.
What happens if a massive blizzard comes in? What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you cancel it? Do you play in front of nobody pretty much? Is the field even safe enough for the players to play on?
Yeah.
Do you even will players refuse to play if it's a middle of a blizzard? Because the Super Bowl, they don't want to get hurt during the game.
A big game.
Because they can't see the ball because the snow's coming down too hard or something. I mean, it could be a nightmare, and I mean, I kind of want to see it happen because I just want to see how the NFL reacts to this what I would call kind of Armageddon financial debacle they put themselves in. And let me also say that this could probably fire Roger Goodell as commissioner, because really, this is at the end of the day, this is pretty much his call to make.
Yeah,
and
it's a bit of a risk.
It's definitely a risk. I mean, no wrong. It's New York media market, so you're gonna get a lot of publicity, easily. But at the same time, if a blizzard comes in,
I mean, it's
what do you do?
It's not the end of the world if they had to postpone it. It'd be different.
Well, no. I'm not saying it was that easy to do, Tyler. I don't know if they can, though. If they will, they got to do without the funny commercials. But here, those commercials, nobody's going to watch them if there's no game.
Yeah, I mean, unless they had some alternative, some kind of something else.
Well, usually that's what they do. Usually a show.
Yeah.
On whatever network hosted, usually it's like some TV show that does like a special hour episode that day. Once again, it's for that time slot, and granted, they probably could push that back a week because that's a TV show. It's kind of a little different. But the advertising is going to be different there because they each pay for those time slots.
Yeah.
I mean, and can you? It just it would be really interesting to see what the hell they would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I think it's, but with the whole advertising too with the Super, I mean, it's silly because nowadays, people are just gonna go online and look them up, and they haven't posted immediately. You see them, tons of times after the Super Bowl.
Well,
you
but,
know,
not only that. I mean, like for movie trailers too. Like I mean, hell, like I remember one time, like
yeah,
Iron Man 3 last year, it was just like a quick 15, 30-second teaser.
yeah,
The full actual trailer was on the official Iron Man Facebook page, which they linked to
right,
on the commercial. So most of what they show you was going to be online anyway,
Right.
not on television.
right,
I mean, actually, I think for the Avengers even did the same thing there. And to be honest, the Facebook one looked way better because it was longer
yeah,
and it threw in a lot more action than the one in on TV did.
yeah,
Granted, it's because it's so expensive. Like 30-second ads are very expensive, and that's usually how much they only last.
yeah,
You barely frequently get more than 30 seconds, but we'll see.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see how things shape up. I guess as we head into week 2 of the NFL. We got tomorrow's Thursday already, so that's right.
Time to see how
Week
Geno
2,
Smith does against a real football team.
yeah. So week 2 is
Speaking of
underway
Kool-Aid
here.
drinkers, already Mark Sanchez got buried already, apparently. Already he is the backup and will be no longer a New York Jet, apparently.
Oh yeah,
Because
Well,
Geno Smith had
I
one
don't-
decent game against the Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Buccaneers.
yeah. Well, I guess anyone will take any win at this point. So
Yeah. Let's see how Max Ryan does it too after target so much smack to this guy all preseason.
yeah,
See if he actually will bury the hatchet with Mark Sanchez.
right.
Honestly, Tom Brady have a decent game. Obviously, hopefully, actually, I kind of a little worried now because I think besides Varen, their running back, I think I'm a crap. What's the wide receiver's last name? Is it? Don't want to
I
mispronounce
don't
it.
know.
Okay, yeah, it's good as much.
Whatever.
Whatever. He actually did pretty well against the Bills. He's supposed to be out
Yeah.
for this game, so when you're a team that needs a lot of wide receiver depth right now, I
Yeah.
mean, but New England won the game, and like as long as they win here, they're 2-0 getting the AFC East
Yeah.
already. So
I saw that Gronkowski was doubtful for the game. He might be back actually in week 3.
which would be
So that would
which could really definitely help him
that
this year.
could
But
yeah, that could
like I said, I'm not gonna drop Brady yet, but no,
Right.
but in fact I think they're gonna beat the Jets very easily tomorrow. I think the whole
yeah.
Geno Smith thing calms down after a while, and the Jets finally realize, oh yeah, 4th place, yeah, right, yeah. Could we be Giants fans finally now?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I guess that'll wrap things up. We're excited here in Eagleville.
Yeah.
And the question is, can the Eagles start off 2-0, beat the Chargers this weekend? We'll be here to talk about it next week here on TW Sports Talk. So stay tuned and thanks for tuning in.